So good afternoon, everyone. As mentioned, I'm Danny. I'm the head of research at Insight and Intelligence Consultancy K7 Media. That's us. For those who don't know about K7, we track trends across viewing around the world and release reports focused by genre and territory to our subscribers. These tend to be TV broadcasters, producers, and distributors. Historically, our focus has been on broadcast television, and that still comprises a central part of our offering. However, in recent years, we've been increasingly interested in developments taking place in the digital space, from platforms like YouTube, Facebook, and Snapchat, to the SVODs and the OTT offerings of major broadcasters. It's within the digital space that we've seen the most interesting developments when it comes to branded content, as brands, both big and small, take the opportunity to present themselves in diverse and brave new ways, to supplement and in some cases surpass their traditional advertising. Branded content is nothing new. The soap operas, which dominate today's TV ratings, take their name from serialized radio shows launched in the 1930s, which Procter & Gamble used as a vehicle for advertising their laundry products. In the modern world, with online audiences using ad-blocking software to filter out unwanted marketing messages, brands are increasingly having to be more authentic in their engagement. We're a world away from the push advertising of old, and this brings exciting new opportunities for content makers. This is a fundamental driver of the big interest in branded content, with brands and agencies scrambling to get up to speed on how the content world works, and production companies keen to demonstrate their experience and abilities to this growing area of revenue and opportunity. Viewers, too, are intrigued about this often unfamiliar notion of brand-driven or sponsored content. So today we find ourselves at a place where branded content can mean a number of things, from the shows which unashamedly flaunt their sponsors' interest, to those series which are more subtle about declaring their affiliations. It's quite telling that at K7, some of our most recent new clients are the in-house production arms of major global brands who want to understand viewing trends to help inform the direction of their own branded and sponsored productions. We're also seeing a great deal of interest in branded content from the major networks we work with, as well as the vertically integrated production giants. In this talk, I'm going to take you through some of the most notable examples of branded content and examine what the future looks like for branded content. To start the ball rolling, we're going to look at one of the most well-established and long-running branded series out there, namely BMW Films' The Hire, which had its most recent incarnation in The Escape, which was released in October 2016, 15 years after The Hire. For those unfamiliar with the series, it's a muscular action drama featuring episodes of around 10 minutes in the same vein as James Bond and the Transporter series, featuring Clive Owen driving a series of BMW models while getting in and out of dangerous situations. While the sales message of BMW performance is always front and center, at no point is the quality of content sacrificed for the sake of advertising. The message of content is king is often repeated in the TV and advertising world and rings equally true when it comes to the world of effective branded content. Here's a trailer for The Escape, which has attracted nearly 6 million views on YouTube. But what of the brands that don't enjoy quite the same market position or lay claim to such lofty USPs? Instead of trying to put a square peg in a round hole with its branded offering, Hyundai is one brand which has embraced its everyday mundanity and even pokes fun in it in this original series, Suburban Sons. Excuse me. Clearly aimed at those dads whose lives have led them to driving a comfortable and safe SUV instead of a Harley they dreamed of. This show pokes fun at trivialities of life in the suburbs, albeit in a good-natured way, and it features solid performances which will leave viewers with a smile on their face as well as a positive notion about the brand itself. Here's a clip.
I started this crew of badass suburban dads for one reason and one reason only.
The jackets, the cool jackets.
To protect the neighborhood.
Right, that makes more sense. That's stupid. So stupid. Doctor was right.
And that's why we need to do something about Frank.
Yeah.
This has gone on for far too long. Let's hit it.
Go. Getting in the back. Oh, okay, sorry. Unbelievable. Seatbelts. Coming for you, Frank. Woo-wee! Careful on this corner. There you go. There he is. There he is.
The show is available in its entirety on the AMC Networks-owned IFC Comedy Crib, alongside bona fide comedy series like Documentary Now and new release Brockmire. And this positioning helps provide it with greater credibility as a standalone comedy short, which just happens to have been created by Hyundai, as opposed to a specifically branded show. This distinction is important in the eyes of the viewer. While most branded content is released on platforms which allow it to be consumed where viewers spend a lot of time, like YouTube, Vimeo, or on the SVODs, some companies are using the growing medium of VR to host their latest branded content. Sticking with the motoring theme, Toyota have released a 4-part mystery drama series alongside Discovery entitled The Satchel to showcase its product, in this case, the 2017 Camry car. Available in 4 parts via the Discovery VR app, the short-form content shows an unsuspecting man whose world gets upside down when he goes for a coffee date with a mysterious woman clutching a suspicious satchel. What a suspicious satchel looks like, I'm not entirely sure. Now, Discovery have carved a reputation for creating exceptional work, particularly within VR production of late, so it makes sense for a major brand like Toyota, looking to build on its previous successes in branded content, to approach the broadcaster for its expertise. As with the previous 2 examples, in the Satchel, the focus is on the narrative, perhaps with the viewers drawn in by novelty, but persuaded to stay by the content. From the perspective of showcasing the Camry, it's done clearly and efficiently, but without detracting or distracting from the drama.
Never been in an interrogation room before.
Oh, that's good. That means you've kept your nose clean. Until now. Now, we won't take up too much of your time, Jim. All you have to do is tell me where the satchel is.
I wish I could help you, Detective, but I can't tell you where it is.
That's funny, because you're the last one seen holding it on the security camera.
Oh, I'm sure he's got a good explanation.
Toyota isn't the only major brand to have tapped into the expertise of an experienced broadcaster to further its branded content offering. Camera maker Canon collaborated with National Geographic on Tales by Light, a 6-episode series which premiered in 2015 on National Geographic Australia and has subsequently been made available to a global audience as a Netflix original. Tales by Light follows a number of professional photographers traveling around the world to capture images which tell a story about culture and nature in a new light. It's a smart move from Canon, providing a lush and visually vibrant series charting the experiences of aspirational photographers who live their lives through the lens of a Canon camera.
Now, at 63, I recognize how fast life goes. And so I want to see as much on this tiny planet as I can during my lifetime. But I also want to encourage and inspire other people to travel, to get out there and see the world, to see nature, to see cultures, to see something different than where they live.
Climbing a volcano under the midday sun is no walk in the park. The only thing that's keeping me going right now is the anticipation of that view from the crater rim.
A friend once told me, if you follow what you love, it will not lead you astray. there's an insatiable desire in me to explore with a camera in hand. I follow my curiosity, my instinct, as it tells me to go to the ends of the earth.
Just the idea of getting multiple bus-sized animals in one picture, you're recording a remarkable event.
This is amazing behavior between these bears. When one charges the water, the other one gets up. Now watch.
You know, I want viewers to ask questions. I don't want the obvious to be there. It's like they gotta look at it and try and put the pieces of the puzzle together.
I have spent the last 30 years traveling the world photographing vanishing cultures with the idea that someday they may be very important to have a record. And this shot could be one of those.
Travel is a gift that keeps on giving in terms of content, and it can be tapped in different ways depending on your requirement to give a new twist on traditional stories or messages. Cruise line Royal Caribbean recognized the potential its product had when it launched Royal Crush, a romantic scripted series which launched on YouTube multi-channel network Awesomeness TV in 2014. The series was created in a bid to increase the awareness of the brand among a younger demographic who aren't the traditional passengers on board a cruise ship vacation, and features YouTube influencers in supporting roles, as well as a heavy social media presence to help target its Gen Z audience.
I have a feeling this is going to be a trip I'll remember forever. I met the most amazing guy inside. He's smart and funny.
I met a girl.
Oh?
A special girl.
She's my cousin.
Harsh.
I like him. Please help me. He likes the kinds of things you like. Tell me what to say when I'm with him.
Amazing, isn't it?
Stunning. Stunning. You should have told me that you liked him.
Let's make up for lost time.
The third season of the show launched in June 2016, and according to custom Nielsen study results, 75% of viewers said they were more likely to try to persuade their parents to take them on a Royal Caribbean cruise, while among respondents who'd watched the series, the lift in likelihood to recommend Royal Caribbean to others was nearly double that of respondents who'd only viewed a Royal Caribbean TV ad. Season 4 began in November of last year, and to date has averaged over 1 million views for each of its 6 shows. Royal Caribbean isn't alone in trying to bring some excitement to its brand through original content, with other travel firms getting in on the act as well. UK travel agency Thomson created First Breaks, which featured couples at various stages of their relationships visiting Thomson resorts on the Greek islands of Rhodes and Corfu, and taps into the current trend for dating shows, while also showing off the facilities at Thomson's resorts. The show was released through UK broadcaster Channel 4's online platform All4, and was a spin-off of the popular First Dates format. Building additional content around a much-loved TV series in this way is smart, as it helps guarantee an audience for the online show. Staying with the world of travel, one of the best-known and most successful branded content series is Two Bellmen from JW Marriott Hotels. This action comedy features the adventures of 2 fictional bellmen working at JW Marriott hotels around the world, and incorporates parkour, martial arts, dance, and music action. The light-hearted mix has obviously resonated with viewers, and the increasing confidence of the films is apparent as they develop. On YouTube, the first 17-minute Two Bellmen attracted just over 5 million views, whereas the 35-minute Two Bellmen 3, which launched January this year, has over 9 million views. While Marriott's hotels act as a beautiful backdrop for many scenes, their presence is almost incidental, serving as a stage for engaging content which draws in different cultures and develops a message of positivity.
Look around, look at these people. They come in, they go out, and we make that flow.
of this hotel. Without us, everything would be chaos.
Look, man, I'm pretty sure people could figure out how to carry their own bags without...
Chaos!
Hotel chains have been quite ambitious and creative when it comes to making their own branded content, with both Sheraton and Renaissance hotel groups creating original shows at supplementing guests or would-be guests' stays in major travel destinations. Sheraton teamed up with Showtime with On the Scene, in which actors from drama series take viewers on a whistle-stop tour of a particular city, taking in some of the locations which they will have seen on screen. Meanwhile, Renaissance brought in celebrity chef Andrew Zimmern on board for Navigator's Table. Each short episode sees Zimmern visiting Renaissance hotels in a different American city, where he hosts dinner for local chefs, celebrities, and influencers to discuss the city's hidden gems and reasons to visit. The brand positioning is a little more traditional, and there's no doubting that it's all about Renaissance, but at the same time, the episodes are engaging and a useful insight into each city. While some of these offerings are in their infancy, they're part of a wider approach for brands being seen as trustworthy and adding value simply beyond what their customers pay for.
In a world where business is simply usual, one man seeks to change it all.
I'm Andrew Zimmern, and unusual is my business.
Don't you wonder who was the first person who was like, I think we can eat this?
They're deviled eggs, so it must be a party!
What's up, baby?
Cheers.
Thank you.
While we've looked at motoring and travel, which are two of the areas to see the most branded content out there, food and drink, I think, is the area which has seen the greatest amount and diversity of original shows made by and for brands. Last autumn, Starbucks debuted its first original web series, Upstanders. Over the course of 10 episodes, the series aims to tell inspiring stories about ordinary people making positive changes in their communities. Promotion for the series has been visible throughout Starbucks branches, its mobile app, the New York Post, and through partnerships with millennial-focused destinations such as Upworthy and Mike.com.
Everybody coming out of prison should have an opportunity to make a new life.
We were jaded. We're used to this. We didn't think it was going to change.
I said, well, what are we supposed to do?
When I go into a soup kitchen, I see opportunity.
What I was being led to do was find a way to love these people.
We are actually guardians of this community.
What was going on with the world today? I was the problem.
They wanted to give them dreams.
You can be whatever you want to be.
I watched the life come back to his eyes.
We thought we have to work hard.
I knew hundreds of women that just need a hand up.
Even if it can't be done, it should be done.
My world got bigger.
I see a human being. I have some hope.
It's not going to be easy and it's not going to be quick, but we can fix this and we should.
Unlike some of the food and drink related content I'm going to show you today, Starbucks doesn't have any particularly healthy credentials to fall back on, instead going for the socially aware angle. No Starbucks products are visible within this self-funded, emotionally charged factual series. This is about creating content which reflects the brand's aspirations. Starbucks' stated corporate mission is to inspire and nurture the human spirit, one person, one cup, and one neighborhood at a time. And to be fair, I think Upstanders fulfills that brief. Moving on, Chipotle American Grill is an American fast food chain which also carries a message of being socially aware and sustainable in its kids series, Radlands. The mixed animation and live action series focuses on looking at farming practices and the promotion of fresh, organic ingredients, featuring well-known chefs, musicians, and YouTube stars to that end. The show's 6 episodes are slightly scattergun, but among a young audience which demands fast-paced content, that's probably a wise choice to have made, and allows Chipotle to cram as much varied content as they can.
Strap in, it's warp drive time.
This is gonna be fun!
Hey, people of Earth, this is great. I finally got everything up and running. I'm Trinket, by the way, and this is Lo-Fi.
I Oh yeah, time to show you dudes how this is done.
Who are you guys?
We're the Cultivators, an elite team dedicated to the preservation of the many plants and animals in Galaxy 4755.
Look out!
Cultivators, we meet again.
Let's do it. Yeah, let's get ready for Snack Challenge!
I like eating the food that I know where it comes from and who grew it.
Good day, you my dear shark. Do you happen to be an herbivore?
Hi, I'm Chef Amanda Freitag.
This is my friend Michael Voltaggio.
This is my associate, Duff.
I'm excited to make one of my favorite things, an omelet.
Come on, team, battle mode. Oh, hey, guys.
Let's go!
Another fast food chain negotiating the choppy waters of branded content is McDonald's. World's Best Burger comes from Sweden and sees chef Johan Jureskog undertaking a culinary road trip around America on a mission to create the world's best burger. Though no branding is carried in the series was fully funded by McDonald's. The second season, with a new twist where the chef battles it out state by state, premiered last month. It's worth noting that the three examples I've just talked about all come from major fast food brands which can't lay claim to being particularly healthy, and all have kept the branded element of their shows to an absolute minimum. There's massive scrutiny on all types of broadcast and digital content nowadays, and content creators have to be careful not to put a foot wrong, as one slip can become a PR disaster, and that also is relevant in terms of promoting unhealthy lifestyle choices. From this perspective, it looks like perhaps McDonald's, Starbucks, and Chipotle have listened to that old adage that says, if you haven't got anything good to say, don't say anything at all, and applied it to their own brands. Another show, cooking show, backed by a food brand, has launched recently in Sweden. However, it's eschewed mainstream channels, instead opting to launch on Facebook as a live stream show. Lager Live, which roughly translates as cooking live or prepared live, from cheese band Västerbottensost, dishes up recipes and ingredients decided by audience interaction at the same day and time every week. Far from being a revolving cycle of fondue each week, the presence of the cheesemaker's product is limited to a wheel of Västerbottensost cheese in the background of the show, ensuring that quality cooking content remains at the fore.
Niklas Ekstedt här. Vad säger ni? Kyckling med citron och rosmarin eller en vegetarisk vårlasagne? Då blir det lasagne då. I mitt nya program på torsdagar på Facebook så är det ni som bestämmer vad för god, enkel helgmat jag ska laga live. Kommentera, gilla, ställ din svåraste matfråga så svarar jag med en gång. Det här har jag aldrig fått göra förut. Varje vecka får jag dessutom besök av en känd gäst. Så in och följ Västerbottens Ost Facebook-sida så ni inte missar Laga Live. Torsdagar 19:30 börjar 4 maj. Vi ses där.
Nike got off to a strong start with its scripted series Margot vs. Lily, which launched just over a year ago. Part of a push to market its sports apparel to young women, the web series features two completely different adoptive sisters, one fitness fanatic YouTuber and one fitness phobe socialite. Both challenge each other to swap talents. Though Nike apparel features heavily, you don't feel like you're having the trademark swoosh flashed up in your face at every possible moment. Further, the narrative avoids preaching. Lily might have a healthy lifestyle, but her character is far from perfect. It's a balance that appears to have hit a sweet spot for Nike, notching up over 8 million views in just 14 days.
Hiya! That is my sister Lily. She jumps around on YouTube for a living.
Hearts and smarts.
And that's my sister, Margot. She has a more sedentary lifestyle. By the way, I don't normally sit around watching videos of my sister working out. This is research for a bet.
I dare you to start your own fitness channel.
Okay, well, I would like to see you get more than 0 friends.
You're on.
Let's do this, Viking! Rule world!
How does dinner sound? All right.
Why would I ever watch you when I could just watch her?
You want to be my friend?
This is completely impossible!
I can talk fitness all day.
Ellie, can you help me out?
I'm not on the grid.
I have an idea that will totally reinvent book club.
Please leave.
Why can't running be more like walking or napping?
I think I might be jacked!
We began today with a slick, high-budget, scripted short film from one brand. So to finish up, I'm going to share another with you, Lifeline by Qualcomm. The Qualcomm Snapdragon is a processor which lives inside many of today's mobile phones, probably inside most of your mobile phones. And Lifeline is Qualcomm's attempt to increase exposure itself to a mainstream audience. Directed by Oscar winner Armando Bo, who directed Birdman, Lifeline is a 30-minute thriller which follows a Chinese man using his girlfriend's smartphone to track her down after she goes missing. I think this is the least expected and most impressive of the examples I found over the last year or so, and also when I was putting today's presentation together. How does a company making processing chips create something engaging, thought-provoking, and worthy of 30 minutes attention from someone with no knowledge of the brand whatsoever? Well, I think with something like this.
Hi, Emma in the future. This is Emma from the past. So in case you get some kind of crazy, weird amnesia, I just want you to remember this moment. See this? This is happiness.
Did I ever tell you the story of Chandler the pig? Actually, we learned it was a she-pig, but we'd already named her Chandler.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce you to the world's last romantic.
怎么了？ Emma 失踪了。
待了很久。
把手机给我。
You have a labyrinth in your fingertip.
这个骗子！这他妈的怀孕了 ！Where's my girlfriend?
You're living in a fantasy. You need to wake up.
It's clear to see that with branded content running across the spectrum from Hollywood-esque thrillers via broadcast cooking shows to bingeable comedies and immersive VR experiences, brands are creating or backing original content with renewed vigor and flair. With web users increasingly rejecting push advertising, blocking or skipping ads, brands are having to be increasingly innovative with their approach to getting their name out there, as well as pulling in would-be consumers with engaging content. Some of the clips you've seen today could pass for unbranded content and sit alongside conventional viewing content in terms of their quality and delivery, which is testament to the success brands, ad agencies, and production companies are having in turning their hands to these new opportunities. One thing they all share, however, is that they put content at the heart of the offering, whether it's a show, series, or film, and keep the viewer in focus at all times. We have a whole genre of TV shows which take its name from the influence of brands, the soap operas, and I've no doubt that will happen again soon. In the same way that House of Cards made people sit up and take notes of Netflix, one day soon there'll be a branded series or film that has the same impact, and that will open up a world of opportunity for the marketing industry. Thank you.